Hey guys, welcome back to round 8 of the 2018 Batumi Chess Olympiad. At the moment, there are currently 3 teams in the lead with 13 match points. They are Azerbaijan, the United States, and Poland. So today, the United States faces off against Azerbaijan, and Armenia is playing against Poland. So a win for any of these 3 teams could mean a big deal for the tournament's standings. So the game that I'm about to show you is from the matchup between Poland and Armenia on board number 1. So we have Levon Aronian with the white pieces against Jan-Krzysztof Duda. Aronian opens with c4, we have e5, g3, knight c6, knight c3, g6, both sides fianchetto their bishops, and here rook to b1 from Aronian. This gets the rook out of the a1 h8 diagonal, and also white is preparing to push b4 and b5. d6 from Duda, we have b4 and here f5. So black is going for sort of a King's Indian defense structure, trying to storm his pawns on the king side. b5 from Aronian, knight c to e7, d3, knight f6 from Duda, e3 from Aronian, black castles, knight g e2, and here an idea for black is to play a6, trying to break open the a file, and if that is taken, simply rook takes a6, and if white castles, you play b6, a very positional move stopping c5 from white, and black has a nice position. Also, it is worth taking note that after rook takes a6, if white plays bishop takes b7, then this loses a piece after bishop takes, rook takes, queen to a8, skewering these two rooks. So after knight g to e2, black didn't play a6, but Duda played very aggressively with g5, so there might be some ideas of f4 in the air. Aronian stops that with f4, if e takes f4, e takes f4, and here g4 from Duda. White castles, and here h5, so trying to chip away at white's kingside pawns with h4. Rook to e1, h4, bishop e3, a6, so now Duda is trying to open up the a file for his rook. Aronian plays a4, we have a takes b5, a takes b5, and here is c6 from Duda. The computer doesn't like this move for black, as it weakens the b6 square. And that can be occupied with a minor piece, which Aronian does immediately with knight to a4. Rook to f7 here from Duda, so this is a common idea in King's Indian defense-like structures, trying to bring the rook to either g7 or h7. Bishop f2 from Aronian. He could also play bishop b6, forcing the queen to an awkward square, but here bishop f2, trying to stay solid, the bishop guards g3, freeing this knight to move after moves like knight to h5 from black. Here black plays knight h5, we have knight b6, the rook is under fire, so it comes to a3, b takes c6, b takes c6, and here knight to d4 from Aronian. We have h takes g3 from Duda, h takes g3, and here rook to a2. So Duda doesn't mind giving up the pawn on c6. The computer actually thinks that white has a significant advantage in this position. Because of his better placed pieces, this bishop on g2 is also quite nice, and his rooks are nicely placed on open files. But the position is still very sharp and anything can happen. Knight takes c6 from Aronian, knight takes c6, bishop takes c6, and here Duda goes for it. He plays rook takes f2. So sacrificing the exchange, but the point is that this bishop now can come to d4, and you can't really chase it away from that square. So king to g2 from Aronian, and here Duda plays knight takes f4. So if that is taken, then the queen joins in the attack, and this is simply game over for white. There are so many threats and you can't really defend them. Threats like queen to h3, also queen f2, rook to h7. This is game over for white. So here Aronian didn't take the knight, he played king to f1, and here bishop b7 from Duda. Here rook to e8 seems to win the queen for white. But after bishop takes e8, then simply rook to h7, threatening to give check on h1, and that is also mate. White has to play g takes f4, and after rook h1 check, king to e2, the only move. Here bishop f3, king d2, and you don't take the queen, but instead you play rook h2 check, king c1, bishop e3, only move is queen to d2, and then rook takes d2, and black has a tremendous position. He is threatening all sorts of discoveries with this rook, and this pawn is simply going to be pushed to the queening square. So here after bishop b7, the best try for white is probably queen to a4, and after a move like queen to g5 with the idea that if pawn takes, then you take on f4, here white goes knight to d5, trying to eliminate this annoying knight. Queen to h6, so with threats of going queen to h1. Here knight takes f4, queen to h2 because h1 is now guarded by this bishop. Knight g2, stopping mate on f2, then you play queen takes g3. And it is understandable that Aronian didn't go for this, as things are very sharp. It could go either way. Computer still thinks white is better, but for the human eye, this is very difficult. After rook e2, bishop takes c6, queen takes c6. Here queen to h3, so threatening some check on h1, and also with ideas of pushing these pawns. So not an easy position for white to play, despite being better on the computer's evaluation. So here after bishop b7, we have bishop takes b7 from Aronian. Knight to h5 from Duda, so threatening to take on g3. King g2 from Aronian, and knight to f4 check from Duda, so if that is taken, again queen to h4 is lights out for white. King to f1, so the players repeat moves. King g2, knight f4 check, and in this position both players agreed to a draw. So despite the result, this was still a very exciting game. And at the moment there are still a couple of games going on in the match-up of the United States versus Azerbaijan and Poland versus Armenia. So we will have to wait and see what happens. So that is all for this video, folks. I hope you enjoyed the game, and if you do, please subscribe for more future content. Thank you for watching and have a great day.